the week has been good and fair to you. Because sometimes a lot of people will say, "Ah, now wow, this week just get a CB." But hey, you'll be fine. You'll definitely be fine. Okay. All right, my name is Rose Yusuf Kaiser, and I'm super excited to be with you once again because this is the Youth Empowerment Foundation Water Sanitation and Hygiene Project right here on Women Radio, Yef Wash. And this program is implemented by Mangrove Partners and Youth Empowerment. And of course, you know that we have been taking period over the weeks that we have brought this program to you. So today, we're going a little bit away from period. We're looking at gender-based violence, a critical issue affecting the emotional, social, and physical well-being of both males and females across various age groups. That's what we're looking at today. Okay, we're looking at breaking the silence and stigma on gender-based violence. That's our topic for today. So you can, if you've been following the program, you know that this is a little bit away from menstrual period talk, menstrual hygiene, and all of that. But hey, this is still part of what we do. Okay, so yes, this program is brought to you by Mangrove Partners and Youth Empowerment Foundation. All right, joining me this evening to talk about this topic this evening on gender-based violence is a GBV expert. So for the course of this program, gender-based violence, so we'll be calling it GBV. Okay, we have a GBV expert with us, and she is Adiola Potts Johnson. Good evening, Adiola. How are you today?
Good evening. I'm fine, thank you.
All right, it's good to have you
Thank you for having
join
me.
me on this program to talk about something that our society is still struggling with. Every part of our society, every day you get to hear of new cases of one form of violence or the other, on girls, on women, on even men and young boys too. Every part of it. And the annoying thing, or the most scary thing, is that the ones that are not reported are much more than the ones that are reported, and the cases are
Certainly,
reported. That one is scary. That one they fear
certainly.
me gone, because that means there are a lot of things that are going on in the nooks and crannies of our country, our society, that we don't even talk about. But meanwhile, these are things that are eating up our society. I just hope that we get to make positive change through all of these programs that we get to bring to you. All right, let's head on straight to the program. For you to be a part of it, you can dial 07000 You can also dial 09155 Send us WhatsApp messages to 070 3 1756537. That's the number to send in a WhatsApp message, or 08155 So do want to send us WhatsApp messages or call us. We'll definitely be here to take your calls. All right, so let's head on straight to talk to our expert today and get to understand stigma, silence, taboos, get to understand how we can break all of this when we talk about gender-based violence. All right, so Ajola, as a GBV expert, now GVB is often shrouded in silence and stigma. Why do you think that is? Because I mean, a lot of people don't even talk about it. There are a lot of women, even men, that go through this and they don't even talk about it. So it's always like it's hush, 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 hush. The ones that now have mind and come out and talk about it is what we get to, we get to hear, and sometimes it brings some sort of solutions. So why do we always, make it hush hush? It's just quiet. It's always, within silence.
Because GBV often is a crime, that is committed against the person,
Mm-hmm.
and the person is being punished for a crime that's been committed against them.
Hmm.
Now, so that's why you have the culture. So it's how we perceive, or how we the rules that we've ascribed to whether male men or women. So if a woman is being beaten or being sexually harassed or being sexually assaulted, we hear, "Oh, what was she wearing? Where did
Hmm.
she go out at night? What did she do? Well, she was rude." Meanwhile, if a young man is rude, we take it as normal.
Yeah.
And so when you have a man who was probably soft, he's been seen as abnormal,
Hmm.
for lack of a better word. So usually the silence is because of the cultural norms that we have created around
Around.
being male or female. So a woman is to be seen and not heard.
Hmm.
She should keep quiet. While a man is expected to be aggressive And so if you find one who is assertive, who is he's been seen as not, manly. So the culture, the silence that we have is because, like I said, the shame
Yeah.
that is attached to gender-based violence. You ask a man, usually like using whether it's a girl goes out at night, her mother sends her on an errand, a young
Hmm.
lady, and she gets molested or she gets raped. And the question is, what was she doing out at
Who
night?
sent that home for
Who said,
nights?
where she go? Where she dey find?
Yeah.
Now, if you have a man who comes in and say, my wife slapped me,
Hmm.
and everybody's going to be like,
You be man.
you be
How?
man, how?
How it happen? So there's definitely a lot of that in the society. That reminds me, earlier today I was watching a video and I think it was a kind of what is it, a study or an experiment. So they gathered three young girls. They were not even up to six, I think, or
Mhm.
seven. They gathered three of them and they gathered three boys. Now they gave them something to eat. I think it was a jelly or so, and then they put salt inside. So within the three girls, they were eating that jelly and they felt something different, but they didn't see anything. And the lady that gave it to them was asking them, how is it? Do you like it? And they were saying, yeah, it's okay. It's nice. It's good. It's good. It's good. And then they went to the boys and they asked
Mhm.
them, do you like what you're eating? And they said, and the one just started saying, who made this? Who put salt inside this? Why should there even be this? Please don't give it to the next person. And then, they were just blotting out their emotions. And at the end of it, you know, what the person who conducted that said was that at that age, the young girl is she's having the notion of not wanting to hurt somebody's feeling. So in her mind, let me protect this person. Let me just try to see how I can just manage the whole situation. But for the guy, nothing concern. I don't talk, you don't talk, you don't pass. So and then we grow with that. And at the end of the day, somebody's doing something to us that we don't like,
And you can't speak out
and we're just
because
quiet.
you're cultured to be silent. If
Hmm.
you speak out, you're seen as being rude or you're not being feminine.
Yeah.
So, a young girl is being called, she has to be nice. I mean, for you to
Hmm.
be a girl, you have to be nice, you have to conform, you see them properly. There's etiquette classes for ladies. But then for the young man, he's taught to,
Life just
I
goes.
mean, what the hell, express your mind.
Hmm.
And so you find out, like you said, a lot of young girls that are, things happen to them, or women that things happen to them. And then they keep quiet, whether
Hmm.
it's within their family setup, whether it's at the workplace, or it's even within religious institutions, the story still remains the same.
Yeah. But how does this actually affect the survivors, though?
So for survivors of sexual and gender-based violence, most times you have depression, you have low self-esteem,
Hmm.
you have self-harm. Some become suicidal. For some, they lose courage for living, and for some, they just throw caution to the
To the
wind.
wind.
So the effect varies from person to person. So currently, I work with Women at Risk International Foundation, which is Sexual Assault Referral Center, and I can tell you that I think since inception, we've seen about over 6,900 women and girls have passed through our doors.
Hmm.
And the youngest being a 7-month-old baby,
Oh my
and the oldest
goodness.
was a woman in her 60s. And the reaction of each person is
It's
different.
different.
So each survivor reacts. So it's this. You hear stories like, and when it happen, why she no shout?
Hmm.
Oftentimes, 60 to 80% of the time, the perpetrator is someone known to the
Yes.
survivor. And just like you said earlier, she wants to protect. She's in shock. She can't. She's still trying to process it because
Hmm.
this person is supposed to be that my protector. Somebody's supposed to care about me.
Yeah.
And so my mind cannot accept the fact that this person is actually harming me. For some,
Hmm.
for others, it's like, what did I do wrong? Did I offend them? So each survivor has a unique, reaction. But oftentimes you have suicide, depression. Some people totally lose the will for living and throw caution. Some throw caution into the wind.
Hmm. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. I just hope that we get to, because there's one question that I keep asking. There's a program we do here. It's called Her Lens, and
Mm.
sometimes we discuss some of the trending issues there, and we look at it from the woman's point of view. And sometimes I ask the question: can we get to a point where we can say a woman is safe?
So I'll say I'll look at it as you can look at the glass as either half full or half empty.
Hmm.
So while can we get to a point where a woman is safe? Is it possible? It will take a long time. And when, for example, when I travel maybe for work or something,
Mm.
if I get hungry at night, I'd rather go bed to bed starving because probably I'm in an environment I'm not familiar
Familiar
with.
with.
Okay, so there are insecurity issues. Your phone could get stolen, you could get,
Mm.
but for a woman, then there's an additional thought of you could be molested. A young man, what do you think of? Maybe I could get robbed.
Yeah.
For a woman, it goes beyond the fact that she could get raped, she could get molested, or you could get
Should
kidnapped.
get
So
raped.
you could get raped or anything. So the even within even within a place that's supposed to be a safe space, you're still cautious. So can society get to a place where girls can women can are safe?
Mm.
Mm, it's going to be a long walk from
Huh.
this day.
Anyway, you know what they say about little drops.
Yes, so that's why I say we can look at the glass and say that how full. Yes,
Yeah.
are we making progress?
Mm.
Yes, we are. But are we going at the pace that we really want it to be? No. Just like I mean, GBV is not just a Nigerian thing; it's a global
It's a
thing.
global
It's in
thing.
every whether well high income countries, middle
Mm-hmm.
income countries, low income countries, whatever income country, everywhere globally, it's 1 in 3 women for gender based violence, and it's 1 in 4 girls. And so so it's also it doesn't respect boundaries, races, social, economic, income, education. It happens any and everywhere.
Mm. Sure. All right, this is your Women Radio WFM 91.7. And of course, this is the program coming to you from Youth Empowerment Foundation, Water Sanitation and Hygiene Project, right here on Women Radio. And the program is implemented by Mangrove Partners and the Youth Empowerment Foundation. And today we are looking at gender based violence, a social and cultural aspect of it. We're looking at breaking the silence and stigma as regards to gender based violence. You can do well to dial the number 07000 Also dial 09155 Send us a WhatsApp message to 0703 1756537 or 08155 Those are the numbers to get in touch with us this evening on the program. My name is Rose, and of course, I have a GBV expert with me this evening. I have Adela Potts Johnson, and of course, we have been looking at gender-based violence from different aspects of it. All right, so Adela, let's come to communities. In some communities, you hear when they say, "Oh, you don't marry now, just quiet, take calm." No, your husband and is forever.
Hmm.
So don't you can't fight it. You both of you are one, and it's on you to keep your marriage. And that's what they keep telling us. And sometimes you get to hear that, well, there's nothing called rape inside a marriage.
Hmm.
And a lot of times too, when we talk about men, is like we don't even believe that men can be abused at all. But we have heard and we've seen, and most times when we see this, we are we are looking at the man as a weaker person, when we see such things happening. But what's your take on this as a GBV expert?
So I would start off with the first one where you say, you don't marry, you don't marry.
Mm.
So that is stemmed from the way women are socialized to believe that marriage is their burden to bear.
Mm.
Marriage is your work, and that's why when it's Mother's Day or Women's Day, they love, very good, beautiful speeches about women. But then I usually say that those are actually the period that we should talk about the problems that women face.
Face.
And so you have a young girl who's schooled up to believe that the only thing that gives her value is the fact that she's Mrs. or a mama somebody.
Yeah.
And so, but if she comes in and says, "Oh, my name is Joy,"
Joy who?
but if
Joy,
she had
yeah.
come in and
From
said,
where?
"My name is Mrs."
Mm.
Or she says, "Oh, I'm the mother of," and I think I just want to my one personal thing with me is I remember some years ago I was watching the political debate for, I don't know whether it was gubernatorial, one of
Mm.
those election period. And when the men will introduce themselves, they'll say, for example, my name is Babajide,
Yeah.
whatever. I'm a surveyor, and that entered. And then when the women want to speak, they go like, "My name is Mrs. or my name is this." I'm a wife, I'm a mother, and I go like, what has that got
Got
to
to
do
do.
with the political? I mean, it's a political debate.
Yeah.
I know that just shows you the level at which we have so much ingrained, in females that
Hmm.
without marriage, without being having children,
There's nothing to
there's
you.
nothing to it. And so a woman stays in a marriage, and one of the most popular one that has happened recently, the sad one was, the gospel singer who passed
Mm-hmm.
away, and it's because stay. Our divorce is the same. You can't leave. And when you leave, you're termed a rebel.
Yeah.
You're termed an outcast, and everybody casts aspersion on you.
Hmm.
And I usually, when I find survivors, I tell them, I say, look, if you stay and die, society will still cast aspersion on you by saying
Yes.
you died.
You died.
If you leave, it's better you stay alive and let them cast aspersion on you, but at least you
It
get
go
to
pass.
live your life.
Exactly.
So the idea is make your choice.
Hmm.
And I usually say, please, let's school our boys also because, you know, it takes two to tango. Marriage is
Exactly.
supposed to be you work, it's supposed to be two people
Mm-hmm.
working together to make it
The
work.
work.
It's not a woman's thing. It's not to be, it's like it's a balance. There must be an
Mm-hmm.
equilibrium. Of course, you compromise a bit here, compromise a bit there,
Yeah.
but don't make it look like if it fails it's a failure. I know the common thing is if a woman fails in a marriage, it's not just her problem.
Mm-mm.
It's her mother's problem, her grandmother, her father. They
Mm-hmm.
didn't train her well, she wasn't properly schooled, she was, and so women would rather keep silent because of what society will say. Just the same way with men. A man a man, and like there are different kind of abuses. Okay, women may suffer physical, emotional, we know, but some men also probably suffer emotional and physical abuses in their home.
Yeah.
But because society expects him to be a
A
man,
man. Just take it in.
he
Suck it
can't
up.
suck it up. You can't express yourself.
Hmm.
So usually it's ingrained in the way we are socialized. It's ingrained in the way we're schooled. And I usually remember they would say, oh, when I was growing up, sweet boy, you're going to be somebody's wife.
Hmm.
You know, there were a lot of that around. But
Yes.
the funny thing is, for someone like me, my father wasn't like that.
Hmm.
If boys wash car, girl, you must
And
wash
wash your
car.
car.
If girls cook, young man, you must learn how to cook. So that was how it was in my own house growing up. But I remember most other people, it wasn't the
Hmm.
same. So it was usually mommy in the kitchen, like the song we sing, mommy in
In
the
the
kitchen
kitchen.
cooking
The
rice, and daddy
rice.
was in the parlor watching the
Watching ball.
TV.
It's just a lot. Well, I just hope that, we get to a point where we get to understand these things better because it starts from the young age. It starts from the foundation you give from home. I just hope that we're able to get it right from that place. So let's talk about, the silence. How do we encourage survivors? So how do we ensure that they get to speak out? Because most times what kills is the silence. So how do we ensure that they get to speak?
So I want to say out to every survivor who is out there, I'm sorry that whatever happened to you happened to you. But the first thing first is, get, depending on who you are, if you're a child, get a trusted adult to speak to.
Hmm.
If you're an adult, get a trusted friend to speak to. And I usually say, please, when a survivor is speaking to you, don't be judgmental. The first thing when a woman comes in and says, my husband hit me. What did you do? What did you say? That is not the time to speak out because
Hmm.
two wrongs will never make a
You're
right.
right.
I'm not saying, for example, maybe let's assume she was actually rude, you know, but hitting her is not what is going to change, that. And so two wrongs don't make a right. So number one is we have to accept the reality that GBV in itself is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I like using this example. I'll say, if your wife is the daughter of the commissioner of police,
Fear no
you
go let you.
it's just the fact that that this person doesn't have anyone in court
Hmm.
or doesn't know anybody in power. If your wife is the daughter of the president, at the worst, you tell her father to come and pack her load. You don't want to do it again.
Mm.
You won't even, in fact, you will think twice before you
Before,
do so.
yeah.
So it's just the fact that you believe that you have paid bride price, and in quote,
Mm.
you have bought a
You are
property.
bought. You are
And
my own.
you're my own. And usually, like someone says, they say, I'm the head of this home. And that's it. There's no problem with you being the head of the home, you know. But then nobody's contesting it. And that's one of the things that people say when you talk about GBV. They say, oh, it's only
Mm.
about women. It's primarily about women because women are more affected. But we're not saying it happens to the men as well.
Yeah.
And so when we understand that GBV is wrong in itself, then people will feel more confident to come and speak out when we become non-judgmental, when we don't stigmatize people.
Mm.
Because You say a girl wore miniskirt on the road, that's why she was raped. If she's the daughter of the IG, you won't touch her. In
Mm-mm.
fact, if she's walking stark naked on the street, you will put your face the other way. And I tell people that, look, that girl that you think wore miniskirt, several other men saw her
Saw her
and walked
and
away.
walked away.
You just choose. It was a
It's a
choice. It's a
choice.
decision that you made.
Yeah.
So gender-based violence, whatever form it is a decision. Because even for people who are either emotionally abusive or verbally abusive, there are
Mm.
some people you will never be abusive to. So the person that you're abusing is because you have power over that person
Yeah.
and you decide to use it in a negative manner. So, parents abuse their children, wives abuse, spouses abuse each
Mm.
other. I just say a top group MD probably in a conglomerate will not verbally assault a cleaner, even though probably that cleaner's annual salary is not even up to maybe his own 1 month salary.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's organizational policies, you won't do that. But you do that to someone who's your child or who's your spouse. So it's
Mm.
a choice. So once you begin to call it out, that look, it's not because it was because she was rude to me. No,
Mm-mm.
it's your
It's your
choice.
choice.
So for survivors to speak out, first of all, we have to create a safe environment for them
Mm.
where they are not, being judged. Another thing is there's some survivors actually want to even speak out, but they don't even know where to
Where
go
to
to.
go
And so
to?
for that, I would say, look, um, Warif is a center where you can come to in Lagos. We work 6 days a week, and then there's a toll-free line that you can call, and there's a counselor on the other side of the line. It's toll-free,
Mm.
and I'll be giving that number before I leave. You can speak to a counselor at no cost to you. If you come to the Warrior Center, for example, you get and because the Sexual Assault Referral Center, you get services at no cost to
Mm.
you, whether it's a forensic medical examination, a psychological examination, a medical treatment, if it just happened, and if it's for domestic violence, if you come, yes, we deal majorly with sexual violence, but we can refer you to partners,
Mm.
that deal with domestic violence.
Okay. All right. Thank you
So,
very. Yeah.
I feel probably when we also engage men,
Mm.
and as well as probably leaders in the
Mm.
society, men, because men are primarily perpetrators. Do women also perpetrate violence against women? Yes, that
Yes.
happens
It
a lot. But
happens.
primarily, when we work with men,
Mm.
and begin to change the narrative. And that I can tell you has started is working. We work with men as an organization with men in communities. So we have men speaking for women and
Mm.
women also speaking for
Speaking
women.
from.
It makes it better that
Yeah.
way.
It does. It actually does. All right. Just as we wrap up the conversation, what would be your call to action to everyone that's listening this evening? I know you've mentioned it. Give support to survivors, create an environment that they can actually speak out without stigma, without you pointing fingers. Let's do more of the listen and don't judge. These are all parts of it. So, what other things can we do as a community, as people, to support survivors? And then you go ahead and give us the numbers just in a
Okay,
few
so
minutes.
all right. So I'll say number one. Funny thing is when people make things like rape jokes or make jokes around
Mm.
gender-based violence, trust me, it's not
It's
funny.
not funny.
So first thing is let's have to watch our own attitude, and let's begin to change our orientation around gender-based violence.
Mm.
It's a crime. One. It's not that he slapped his wife. No, it is
No,
a
it is
crime
a crime.
because actually in Nigeria there are punitive measures. So it's a crime. Let's have that understanding first. So because when people begin to understand that it is a crime, I
Mm.
think it will drive home the message better. And then let us also begin to have a proper way. Let's have our girls grow up to have high self-esteem. Let's have our boys become protectors and not perpetrators of sexual and gender-based violence, because that balance makes creates this safe environment where the boy knows that the girl has a right, the girl knows that the boy has a right, and then we have a safe environment where we can both exercise our rights and have a healthy society. For the number is a 12-digit number, so that's why it's 203, slightly different from our regular 11 digits number. It is 0800
Hmm.
9210.
Oh, eight
Dra-
hundred nine.
9210 3009. So I'll go so let me do the conventional Nigeria way. So it will
Hmm.
be 080 9210 0009. So like I said, it's 12 digits and it's toll free. It works 24 hours, 7 days a week. If you call it at 2 a.m., someone is going to pick it up.
Okay. All right. So that's it from us this evening. So thank you so much,
Thank you very
Angela, for
much.
coming through. And we hope that our society gets better. And
Certainly,
that
we are.
little drops that we're dropping, one day the ocean will be made.
Certainly, I agree with you. Hopefully.
All right, so that's it from us right here on the program for today. But don't worry, next week, Thursday, we'll be here, God's willing, to take you through on the program. Coming from the Youth Empowerment Foundation, Water Sanitation and Hygiene, that's the Yef Wash Project. All right, so please let's continue to break the silence and prioritize GBV prevention. Okay, join the conversation on social media using the hashtag Menstrual Health Matters. So thank you, dear listener, for listening. Let's not forget that this program was implemented by Mangrove Partners and Youth Empowerment Foundation. Until next time, my name is Rose Yusuf Kaiser. Have a great evening.